Hey there, and welcome back to the BoardGame Sherpa, the channel whose goal is to take the fear and stress out of board gaming. This is the second episode of a new series on the channel called Gaming Expeditions with the BoardGame Sherpa. This is just a bonus episode each week where I give short reviews of games I've played. They're not going to be full playthroughs or how to play episodes, just enough for you to see if the game is right for you. You probably won't always agree with my review, but I promise I will be honest with you on my opinion. If you don't like my review of the game, post why in the comments and try to change my mind. All I ask is that you be respectful. So, with that intro out of the way, let's get on with the show. Beer and Bread is a two-player game from Capstone Games that takes about 30-45 minutes to play. As far as I know, it seems pretty easy to find on Amazon and many local shops, so you shouldn't have any problems finding it. I wasn't really looking for any particular game when I went to my Friendly Local Game Shop a little while ago, but I was just browsing the titles and saw Beer and Bread on the shelf. It was around the time the Dice Tower had just done a 4-person review of Beer and Bread, and all 4 of them seemed to really like and even love it. Side note, I know it's not really common to mention the competition in your videos, but I really don't consider the Dice Tower a competition. They are more of an inspiration. Tom Vassell and his wonderful crew are the experts in the field of board games and really do make all the information out there digestible. Along with my own personal board game Sherpa, Johnny Rocks, they are all majorly responsible for making me love board games. Okay, back to the video. So I bought Beer and Bread and brought it home and played at a recent board game Saturday with my wonderful wife Jackie. By that time, she had cleaned off her Cheeto-covered fingers. See my board game night etiquette video for that reference. Anyway, we started playing, and soon I realized that the great reviews from the Dice Tower were justified. The game in a nutshell. 2 neighboring villages on the land of a monastery are each famous for making beer and bread. The problem is that both villages share the same resources. Water, which is blue, wheat, which is yellow, barley, which is brown, rye, which is orange, and hops that are green. I mentioned the colors because I will never remember what ingredient goes with what color. Both villages are trying to produce high levels of both beer and bread, balanced, over the course of 6 challenging years. Each year, players are dealt 5 random beer or bread cards that are played in alternating turns. They choose one of 3 main actions that they can take with their card. They can harvest resources based on the top line of the card, they can spend resources to produce beer or bread based on the middle section of the card, or they can update and clean their village based on the bottom section. Harvesting or getting resources is pretty straightforward. If you have wheat and water on your card, then you just get those tokens and you place them in your 3x3 storage unit. If you don't have any more space in your storage unit, you have to offer any overages to your opponent. The harvesting section has a really cool feature that when you get resources, the cards you play throughout the year interact with each other. If your current harvest card has an ingredient that is also on your previously played harvest card, then you get your current ingredient plus any ingredients that were the same on previously played card. The second action you can play from the card is the middle section. This is where you see if you have the ingredients on this section and trade them in and produce either beer or bread. In this case, it's 1 water and 3 barley. So take 1 beer, 1 water, 3 barley, and put it in there. Once you do that, you put the card face down in your bakery or brewery until you sell them. Now, unless you upgrade, which we'll talk about later, you can only have 1 item in your bakery or brewery at a time. Which brings us to our third choice of actions you can take on your turn. Upgrade and clean. This is where you upgrade your village. The bottom section of your card has things that can make your business run better. Like this card, you can have additional storage for your ingredients. Or there's another option for finished products, so you can have 2 breads in your bakery instead of just the 1. You can get free ingredients during various events, and there are cards that give you bonus points at the end of the game if you produce certain combinations. There are a lot more upgrades that you can explore on your own. The best part of upgrading is that you automatically clean up your brewery and bakery and sell your finished goods and put the cards into your scored pile. And now my bakery is open for more business. Now, throughout the 6 years of the game, you alternate between fruitful and dry years, each with their own set of rules and challenges. During fruitful years, there are more ingredient resources to be found. But you have to trade your hand of cards with the other player after you both have taken your turn. During dry years, there are less ingredients available, but you don't have to trade your hand of cards, and there are 3 cards in the exchange that you can trade 1 from your hand on your turn. After the 6 years are up, you basically sum up all the scored bread and beer cards that you accumulated separately, and then add any bonuses from upgrades. And the lesser score of either your bakery or brewery is your total score, which means you have to produce balanced amounts of each item. It was really hard knowing that I got 29 on beer and a 16 on bread, knowing I had to take the lower score of 16. That's it for the overview of how to play. Now let's talk about my opinion game and whether I liked it. The short answer is absolutely yes. It was easy to learn, had a great user manual, and Capstone Games has an easy-to-follow how-to-play video on YouTube. Beer and Bread really does have the immersive feel that you can see yourself being in the village making beer and bread. Granted, it's a very simplified version of making beer and bread, but still. It was also a short and easy-to-set-up game, which shoots it to the top of my list of replayable games. Bottom line, I would recommend it. And that's my review of Beer and Bread. I hope you enjoyed the latest in my gaming expedition with the BoardGame Sherpa series. Please subscribe to the channel and put a big thumbs up on the video if you liked it. And as always, if you agree or disagree, tell me so in the comments. Like I said, if you're respectful, I'll listen with an open mind. See you next episode.